past 3 weeks, this past month feels like 2 months or so, in my opinion. We have so much coming up at the studio in May and June, actually. I'll do a few quick announcements while folks are still coming in and getting settled. In May, on Wednesday nights, Anisha will be doing the pose breakdowns to breakthroughs. Wednesdays in May, 6 to 7:30, by far my favorite series that we offer. She's such a genius technician when it comes to building you up and sneaking you into poses that you might not have thought were possible. She makes them possible and accessible. And then I'm excited that we're hosting Jake Panasevich on Friday, May 3rd, Yoga for Athletes, 6:30 to 8. We're doing a nourishing 14-day spring cleanse for well-being and renewal. Abby and I are doing this, inspired by my work with Abby. She has a colon hydrotherapy practice in Chestnut Hill. And we used to do cleanses twice a year here, like probably up until the point I started having children and nursing, and then just becoming an exhausted working mother who couldn't fathom life without sugar and coffee, because like that's the fuel. But it was amazing how even just after the first session with her, like I was so energized and all those cravings dissipated. And now that I've been able to really scale back on caffeine and sugar and crave more plants and stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, cleanses are a good thing a couple times a year. And this is like not the yoga of the 90s or early aughts where it's just like another place to be in not healthy alignment with food. It's all about eating food and eating food that is nutrient dense, and that cleansing is actually more than just food. So it could have a food component or not at all. It could just be about mindset and journaling and what do we want to clear out and let out in order to let fresh energy in. So we're taking like a very holistic approach, and I've always found that it's best done in community, especially when it comes to sharing recipes and moods and stuff like that. So that's a 14-day spring cleanse. We're gonna have a workshop on Sunday, May 5th, next weekend from 3 to 4:30. You'll get information and a cleanse kit and some practices. And then we'll initiate the cleanse on Monday, May 9th. And then we'll wrap, which is the new moon, and we'll wrap it up on the full moon, May 23rd. And it's like an easing in for the first few days of being like really nutrient dense and routines for a few days, and then like bringing pre-cleanse sort of habits and routines back in towards the end. Harmonious Healing Sound Bath Meditation with Elizabeth Zach on Sunday as well, May 5th, 6:45 to 7:45. Batsy Basics, a Chinese cosmology and astrology workshop with Alice Barkley Cat and NB Zhang, Saturday, May 11th from 1 to 3. Alice Barkley Cat is a genius and one of my heroes, and it's a huge honor that they're coming to Three Queens Yoga. So if you have plans, I would recommend changing your plans so that you could be here for this workshop. And so much to the extent that I don't even know what they're offering. It doesn't even matter because they are a genius. Money back guarantee. If you have plans, change them, come, and if you don't think it was the right choice, we'll give you your money back. Kids Yoga Fun Night with Sarah, Saturday, May 11th, 5:30 to 8. Mother's Day fundraiser for Kinder USA with Mariel, Sunday, May 12th, 10:30 to 12. So if you come to this class, you're gonna have to sign up a little different. You sign up on the union thing, and then you can plug in whatever you wanna pay. Suggested is $25. It could be $0, it could be a bajillion dollars. All those dollars are going to Kinder USA, which one of our members is a co-founder of, I think. And then beyond that, we're gonna match up to an additional $1,000. So if you wanna donate more, you just send us your screenshot or you Venmo us and we'll match it and we'll raise a bunch of money. And if you wanna know what Kinder USA is, we're having an info session on Friday, May 24th from 6:30 to 7:30. Sama, our community member, will be here talking about the organization and their recent experience. Anyone else have any announcements? Great. Okay. Let's start with 2 blocks. One is going to be on a medium height, and one is going to be on the high height. Will you dim the lights a little bit? Yeah. The big ones, those studio ones. And we're going to bring the shoulder blades onto the first block, and then your head, you can use your hands to adjust the head block. Knees bent, feet on the floor, bless you. And then release the arms, the elbows down to the sides, and bring your hands to your belly. So your shoulder blades, the bottom tips of the shoulder blades are on top of the block. And your center back of your skull is supported by the other block. And if you're not sure, call either Melissa or myself over so that we can help you find a sweet spot. It should be pretty comfortable. If it's too hard, too rigid, you could also place a blanket over the blocks. I'm seeing some of you do that. So just take a moment to get situated. The eyes can be softly opened, or I encourage you to softly close your eyes. And look for the breath. Feel the rise and fall of the breath in the palms of your hands. So your palms can be anywhere on your midsection. As you inhale, feel the belly expand. And as you exhale, feel the belly soften. And not to underestimate that that's a little tricky here on the heart bench because of the posture. The posture is gonna lend itself more to what we call chest breathing, where the breath is felt dominantly in the chest. And so the effort here with the palms on the belly is to really feel the breath in the palms of your hands, lower than your rib cage, like really into your belly. I would even say like bring your thumbs about in line with your navel or even a little lower. Yeah, there's your belly, like your guts in there. And as you inhale, you want to take the breath as deep down into your guts, into your ground of being, and feel the breath expand you and fill you. And as you exhale, allow this area to completely soften, completely, fully. And let's take 3 of the slowest, deepest, fullest breaths. Slowing down your slow, deepening your deep, expanding your full. And slowing down the exhales as well, tracing them slowly all the way to the end. And notice the circular nature and pattern of the breath, the way in which the top of the inhale promises the exhale, the way the bottom of the exhale promises the inhale. That sweet promise that each side of each breath makes to you. Notice the weight of the head on the block, the head block we'll call it. And I invite you to consider whether it might be okay for you to take that block down a notch, to lower that block so that your head comes a little closer to the earth. That may or may not feel appropriate for every person in here. It's certainly going to make it deeper. Yoga is a physical practice, a spiritual practice, and a contemplative practice, all at once, all at the same time. When we're working with or on any one aspect or dimension of our being, all the other aspects do come into play. Conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Staying with the breath now, can you expand your awareness to hold both the breath and the sense of the support of gravity, the way you feel your connection to your earth, to the earth, to your mat, to your props? What does the support of your mat and your props feel like? To you. It's an inquiry, a contemplation. If not already, stretch your legs out long, flex your feet, spread your toes, press your heels down. Big breath in, slow breath out, stretch through your heels, press your thighs to the earth. And then slowly bend your legs, feel your feet on the ground again. Release your hands down to the sides, turn your palms towards the earth, and then you're gonna sort of use your arms, use your hands to push down to rise up. You're kind of like you're rising up out of water. Try to go with your heart first. And then come into tabletop position with your hands on your blocks. Walk your knees back a little bit behind your hips. Hands at the top corners of the blocks. As you inhale, shrug your shoulders towards your ears. And as you exhale, send your hips towards your heels. Press the palms down into your blocks and float your underarms and armpits up. And as the armpits lift right between your shoulder blades, let the upper back soften. Notice if as you breathe, you can feel your ribs, your rib cage, your belly resting on your thighs. And as you press the palms down, on an exhale, lift your rib cage away from your thighs and then look forward of the blocks and reach your heart forward. Press the blocks down, heart forward. Inhale to rise up. We're gonna step the right foot between the hands. Tuck the back toes. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you press the front foot down, pull your front foot back, track your outer hip crease back, and as you push into the ball of the front foot, lift your back knee up. As you lift your back heel, knee, and thigh to the sky, bend the front leg deeper. Now imagine you had the blocks in front of your palms again. Push the palms forward to suck the armpits back, then take the head back a little bit, and now bring the biceps to the ears. Notice if that did something different in your shoulders. On an exhale, plant the hands, step it back to plank. Exhale, bend the elbows halfway and try to reach your navel to the space between the blocks. Push the arms straight. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg between the blocks. Lower the back knee down. Tuck the back toes under as you reach the arms up. And as you press the front foot down, pull it back and tuck that outer left hip crease back. And as you push into the ball of the back foot, press the back knee and thigh to the sky. As you lift the back heel and knee and thigh up, let the top of the front thigh descend. Push your palms forward like you're pressing into blocks. Draw the armpits in, up and back, head back, and then the biceps back. And again, as you press the back thigh up, let the front thigh descend. On the exhale, find your blocks, take it back to plank. Find your breath. As you exhale, you're going to bend the elbows just halfway and reach your heart forward so that the navel is more in the space between the blocks. Push the arms straight. Woo. Exhale, downward dog. On an inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Spin your back heel to the earth. Inhale for warrior two. Offer it to your breath. We're back to the year of the dragon, finding our flow. Let's see if I can find that playlist. I just had it. So as you inhale, linking breath and action to find your flow with grace, you're going to inhale, pull the feet towards each other, feel the legs engage from the ground all the way up into the hips. And as you exhale, reach back through your back arm to bring more weight standing into your back leg as the front thigh descends. And as the front thigh descends, squeeze the front heel in, guide the front knee open. Turn your back toes in a little bit, and now bring your right forearm to your right thigh and reach your left arm overhead. Extended side angle. And let's use that bottom arm, that forearm, that elbow to guide the knee more open. As you push into your back foot, stretch through your top fingertips. And as you stand into your back leg and guide the front knee open, change nothing in the legs, just inhale for warrior two. Reach back, bend deeper, big breath in, pull the feet towards each other, exhale, side angle, forearm to thigh, left arm overhead. Flip the left palm to the sky, inhale, up and back, warrior two. Pull the feet towards each other, exhale, forearm to thigh, left arm overhead, big breath in, pull the feet towards each other, and as you exhale, bend the front leg deeper, deeper, guide the knee open, one more breath, exhale, downward facing dog. And then you see, is there a difference from side to side? As we begin to open the hips, notice any changes in the legs, any differences between the legs from side to side. The legs govern the low back, so in order to address the lower back, we got to address everything from the hips down. On an inhale, we'll float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Back heel to the earth. Inhale for warrior two. Peek at your back foot just to make sure it's not turning out. And linking breath and action, pull the feet towards each other as you inhale. Reach back through your right fingertips and bend the front leg deeper as you exhale. Inhale, pull the feet towards each other. Feel the strength of your legs activate. And with the leg strong, reach back, shifting your torso more to your back leg so that the front leg can descend. Change nothing in the legs, just left forearm to left thigh, right arm overhead, extended side angle. And now give yourself this sort of manual self-assist of pressing your forearm into your front leg to guide the front knee towards the little toe. Squeeze that front heel in as you guide the inner knee open. Belly breathing, so as you inhale, the depth of your belly below your navel expands, and as you exhale, that area softens. Inhale, warrior two, pull the feet towards each other, reach back, bend deeper. On an exhale, forearm to thigh, right arm overhead. Stand in your back leg as you reach past your right fingertips. Inhale, warrior two. Squeeze the front heel in. Exhale, Parsvakonasana. Woo. And one more time, inhale, warrior two. Exhale, Parsvake, one breath, bend deeper than ever. And then pass through lunge, downward dog. Find your breath, inhale to plank. Lower your knees, shrug your shoulders, and as you press the hands down and forward, draw the bottom tips of the rib cage in front towards the spine, and the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and back towards the spine. And now keep that as you bend the elbows back, reach the heart forward, 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 off the edge of your mat like you're looking over the edge of a cliff. Point the feet, lower the hips and pelvis, inhale, heart lifts. Press your hands down towards each other and pull the hands towards the feet. Press the feet down so much you feel the thighs right above the knees lift. Exhale, downward dog, follow your breath, not my voice. Claw the fingertips, spread the toes, inhale to plank. Lower the knees, shrug the shoulders as you exhale. Bend the elbows halfway as you reach the heart over past the front edge of your mat. Fronts of the shoulders stay lifting. Point the feet, lower the thighs, the hips, the pelvis. Inhale for cobra. Press the hands down, in and back. Press the feet down so the knees lift a little. Exhale, downward dog. And one more time, just like that. Inhale for plank. Exhale, lower in the style of U. Inhale for cobra. Take your time, follow your breath. Exhale, we'll meet in downward dog. On an inhale, float your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through to lunge. Back heel to the earth. Inhale, warrior two. Good news, push the front leg straight. Draw the kneecap up more than back. And on your exhale, bring your right fingertips to the floor or a block for triangle pose. And even here, as you inhale, can you feel the belly expand? And as you exhale, can you feel the belly soften? And as you inhale, the belly expands, pull the feet towards each other. And as you exhale, the belly softens, push through the legs to extend through the spine. And as you root through the right fingertips, stretch through the left fingertips. 2 more breaths. Press here. Towards the little toe. You okay?
Yep. Thank you.
I saw that from a mile away. I'm just kidding. I don't know how. I can't even see the back row, but I saw that knee. Pass through lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe, feel, notice. On an inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, lunge. Back heel to the earth. Inhale through warrior two, passing through. And pause. Your hips. The front knee and toes point straight ahead. And actually stretch your arms out to the sides for a moment and make sure that your ankles are about wrist width apart. So you might have to scoot your back foot back a little bit to stretch your stance. And now bring your hands to your hips. And we're going to just use our eyes to look at the front leg. And the tendency is for the front knee to lock. So put a little bend in your leg, like almost you can't see it, but you can feel it. It might feel like a big bend, but it looks straight still. And as you push through the big toe of your front foot, the big toe ball mound and the big toe, with a little bend in the knee, guide the inner knee towards the little toe. Can you feel that? Keep that left fingertips to the floor or a block, inside or outside your front leg, and support yourself. Like, remember what the support of the blocks felt like when we began? We have the privilege of being in a yoga studio where we have props. Use your resources to support yourself. And the more you do, the more you'll have capacity to support those around you. So use the block, put a little bend in the front leg again. More. Push it. And then keeping that, yes. And then belly breath. Remember that inhale, the depth of your being expands as you pull the feet towards each other and feel the legs engage. And as you exhale, the center contracts and you push down through the legs from that contraction as you extend through the spine, the crown, the arms, the fingertips. On the exhale, pass through lunge, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to slowly lower. Inhale for cobra, bhujangasana. Flick the toenails down, claw the fingertips. And as you press the hands down, the shoulders draw up and back. Pull the hands back, press the palate back. On an exhale, downward facing dog. Breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. The breath turns you into the power of the heart. The power of the heart informs and illuminates the power of the mind, and the power of the mind as it reflects the heart inspires the power of the body. Let the light of awareness flow more deeply and fully and freely on the currents of the breath in and through the fabric of this body. On an exhale, lower your knees to the earth and sit back on your heels, have a sip of water. About to do a little bit of core work and lower back stuff. We hit almost all the hot spots, not every one yet, but the thigh stretch I think will feel really nice after the core work. Okay, we'll come back onto all fours in a tabletop position. Walk your knees back a little bit behind your hips, spread the fingers evenly, and lengthen from hips to armpits. Use your breath to really conjure your inner ducks in, like you're rolling your torso longer with your breath. Send your hips towards your heels, but keep your armpits lifting towards the ears. So the armpits are sort of pulling towards plank, and the hips are moving towards the heels. And you occupy that, it's like a playful game of tug of war. The armpits are pulling towards the fingertips and the hips are pulling towards the heels. And now lift your knees just an inch, just an inch. And as you lift the knees just an inch, take your pubic bone back and up and your sitting bones down. Lower the knees a half an inch, lower the knees a quarter of an inch, lower the knees all the way. Armpits towards the fingertips, hips towards the heels. Lift the knees up to downward dog. Knees, thighs up and back. You can pedal the feet a little bit from side to side. Lift the heels high. Bend the knees almost to the earth. And as the knees lower down, lift your hips up. Think lift and spread your sitting bones. And as the knees lower and the sitting bones lift and spread, those bottom ribs in front, draw them in and up and back. Knees almost to the floor. Knees almost to the floor. And then sitting bones to the sky, downward dog. Inhale to float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Lower the back knee down. And bring both hands to the blocks inside your front foot. Press the back knee down to the midline and forward. And as you bend the back leg with your left hand, reach for your left foot. If you can't reach, you're just going to walk your hands more to the left in order to shorten the distance between your left hand and your left foot. And if you feel steady, you can come more upright. Right hand to the right thigh. Pull the back knee forward as you take the top of the back thigh back. This is so vital and critical for lower back happy longevity. Top of the back thigh back, and then the top of the front thigh descends. And then even here, can you draw the bottom ribs towards the spine and the bottom tips of the shoulder blades towards the spine? Gently release. We'll take it back to downward dog. Breathe, feel, notice. On the inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, catch the lunge. Lower the back knee down. Try not to be right on the kneecap, and of course, pad as needed. And as you press the back knee down, line and pull it forward. So that's how you engage the hamstrings so that they don't cramp. And then bending the back leg, right hand for right foot. Even draw the right shoulder up and back so the right shoulder blade slides to the spine. You can stay here or bring the left hand to the left thigh if you feel stable enough. And then pull the back knee forward as you push the front foot down. Think top of the back thigh towards the back heel, top of the front thigh towards the front heel, bottom ribs towards the spine, bottom tips of the shoulder blades to the spine, and breathing deeply and fully in the container of embodiment. Gently release. Downward dog. You can pause here in dog, pedal the feet, rest in child's pose, or let the breath carry you through the linking vinyasa in the style of you, just linking breath and movement in a way that suits you. We'll meet in downward dog. And on the inhale, float the right leg to the sky, look forward, exhale, catch the lunge. Lower the back knee down and bring your blocks to frame your front foot. Pad the back knee as needed. And as you pad the back knee, like do sort of let the padding occupy quite a bit of the back part of your mat because we're going to be walking back. So if you want to start with your knee at the front of the padding, and then you'll walk the blocks back to walk the back knee back. Walk your blocks back to walk your back knee back. Keep your back toes tucked under. And when you can't go any further, shift your hips back to straighten your front leg. We haven't been in here in a couple months, yeah? And oh yeah, probably folks are like running now. Shift your hips back to straighten your front leg. So your hips are moving towards your back heel. As best you can, have the back toes tucked under. And as you pull the back knee forward, energetically pull your front heel back. And then the same thing as in triangle, put a little bend in this knee. Push through the ball and tip of your big toe. And as you push through the inner heel, guide the inner knee towards the little toe. But try not. And as you micro bend the knee, everyone lift your kneecap, like lift your knee pit up. Okay, now rather than pressing your knee down, push your thigh bone down. That's your hamstrings. Bend the front leg, walk your back knee in. Pass through your lunge. Like trying to scooch my blanket so I can, okay. So that you're on your mat as you step it back to downward dog. And just notice here the difference, if any, from side to side. On the inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Lower the back knee down. Blocks to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes under, and then walk the back knee back. Walk your blocks back. Walk your back knee back. Walk the blocks back. Keep it going until you can't go anymore. And with the back toes tucked under, get a little more weight on the outer edge of the back knee and shift your hips back to straighten your front leg. Runner's stretch or Hanuman prep. Take a few breaths in here. Think wrap your right hip forward as you pull the left hip crease back. Maybe walk the back knee back one more time. And at this new edge, pull the back knee forward as you pull the front heel back. Put a little bend in your front leg so the knee pit lifts up. And as you push through the inner heel, press the thigh bone towards the earth, not the knee, the thigh bone. Anyone like have smoke coming out of their hamstrings? Whew. Press the inner heel down, and as you bend the knee, try to get that inner knee to turn towards the little toe. It's connected to your eyebrows, right? It's all connected. Walk the back knee forward, bend the front leg, pass through your lunge, downward. Downward facing dog, claw the fingertips, spread the toes, lift the heels high, draw the bottom ribs in front towards the spine and the shoulder blades and back towards the spine. And from right there, float the right leg straight up and back, lift more from the inseam, flex the foot, turn the toes in, and then ground through the left heel. Inhale, lift the heel, come to plank, keep that right leg lifted straight and strong. Turn the back toes in and lift the right thigh higher. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, ground through the left heel. Inhale, lift the left heel. Flex the right foot, turn the toes in more. Squeeze that right leg to the midline. And on the inhale, plank. Totally optional, you can add the chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, three-legged dog. Right leg through to lunge. Inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, plant your hands, downward dog. Follow your breath, not my voice. On your inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Flex the foot, turn the left toes in, squeeze the left leg in, lift the right heel high. Draw the bottom ribs in front towards the spine. Draw the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and back towards the spine. And as you press your left inner thigh towards the front of the room, ground your right heel towards the earth. Try not to drop the bottom ribs. Inhale, lift the right heel, come to plank. Turn the left toes in, squeeze the left leg to the midline and lift the thigh bone to the sky. Good, three-legged dog. Lift the heel high. Press the left thigh across the room. Ground through your bottom heel. Try not to drop the ribs. Lift the heel, inhale, plank. Lift the thigh. Exhale, three-legged dog. Ground through the right heel. Inhale, lift the right heel. Inhale, plank, totally optional, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Three-legged dog. Catch the lunge. On an inhale, reach up. And on an exhale, plant the hands. Downward facing dog. Right leg through to pigeon prep. Take a block high in front of you. Right knee wide to the right. Right foot in line with the left hip. Pull the knees towards each other and really wrap the left hip forward, right hip crease back. Keeping that, bend your back leg, left hand for left foot. Belly breathing through the nose. This is for the low back. Gently release. Bring your forearms to the floor in front of you. Lengthen from hips to armpit so your shoulders are more in line with the base of the neck. And squeeze the block between your palms so that you feel your arms activate, especially the biceps. And as you squeeze the block, lift the back knee and thigh to the sky. And as you exhale, right foot meets the left foot. Squeeze the block. Zipper the legs together. Slow down the inhale through the nose as you squeeze the block and squeeze the legs. And as you exhale, soften the jaw and the eyes. Press your heels back, reach your heart forward. Breathe. 2 more breaths. At the bottom of your next exhale, lower the knees, the thighs, the belly. So I like to do core work in a way that is, most of the time, I shouldn't say always, most of the time I'm really mindful of keeping the low back and the neck safe when we do core work. And planks. Like planks are the best thing for core work. And lunges, as basic as they are, so great as hip openers, which are great for your lower back. Second side, plant the hands. We'll push up and back, downward dog. Find your breath. Breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body, recover. And when you're ready, we'll meet with the left leg in pigeon. Left knee to the left edge of your mat, left foot somewhere in line with the right hip. Take a block high in front of you. Pull the knees towards each other so you're lifting up in pigeon. You're not collapsing down. You're pulling the knees towards each other and utilizing the strength of your very own legs to uplift you. And then keeping that, we're going to take a thigh stretch, right hand to right foot. And press the back knee down as you kick the foot into the hand. Breathing through the nose. On an exhale, gently release. Come to your forearms. Hug the block between the palms. And when you hug the block, feel the arms activate. Pull the knees towards each other, arms strong. Lift the back knee and thigh to the sky. Big breath in. On the exhale, left foot meets the right foot. This time in your forearm plank, shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Think armpits towards the block. Squeeze the block, and now walk your feet towards the block. Take your feet as wide as the mat,
at your edge, bend your legs, press your forearms down, and take your sitting bones to the sky. Press your forearms down, sitting bones to the sky. Draw the bottom ribs towards the spine. Draw the bottom tips of the shoulder blades towards the spine, and now push your thigh bones to the sky. Come on, do your dippiest of dippy toes. Squeeze the block, walk it back to forearm plank. Lower the knees, the thighs, the hips, and either make a pillow with the block or a pillow with you can rest on your forehead or turn to a cheek. Slow down the inhales, slow down the exhales. The breath ignites the heart, the indwelling light of the heart illuminates and inspires the mind and the body. Turn your head to the other side. And then come back to center. Point your feet. Snap the big toe ball mounds and inner heels together. Push through your arms to sit back on your heels. Keep your heels together. Pull the heels together. Flick the toenails down. Fans feel nice. Thank you for that. Walk it forward, tuck the toes. Keep the big toe ball mounds touching. Sit back on your heels. And we have plenty of wall space, so we're going to do that today. I invite you to find a space at the wall, and you can bring your stuff with you. Just bring all your things and find a wall space. Feel free to spread out. There's plenty of space today. So, inversions are such a sweet thing we can do for our lower backs. We spend most of our lives bearing weight on our lower backs. And when we go upside down, we take all that weight off of the lower back. This really, I always knew that, but this really landed for me when I was pregnant. It's like the best feeling to be upside down. So we're just going to start by coming to all fours in a tabletop position with the soles of the feet at the wall. Walk your hands a print forward of your shoulders, so your wrist creases are slightly forward of your shoulders. Just going to make it a little bit less on the wrists. And as you inhale, shrug your shoulders towards your ears. I know that feels weird and counterintuitive, but do your best to do that, try that, hold that, keep that. And then lift your knees and hips up and back so you're at downward facing dog with your heels up the wall. And you're going to just take 1 foot hip height and push into the wall to bring the other foot hip height. So you're in an L pose. Elizabeth, you can walk your feet down like 2 or 3 bricks. Oh, there's like how many Elizabeths in here today?
Which one did you mean?
I know. Elizabeth on the blue mat, or is that every Elizabeth on a blue mat also?
It feels too low.
Okay, so if you're in L pose, press the inner edges of the hands down. Push your hands into the floor so much you feel your hips lift up. If your feet are at the wall, come onto your tiptoes and bend your legs. Yep, come onto your tiptoes and bend your legs and press your feet down and try to lift and spread your sitting bones. Now keeping that, think bottom ribs towards the spine, heart towards the wall, and press your thigh bones to the sky. 1 more breath. Exhale, come down by popular demand and rest in child's pose, longest L pose ever. Questions, comments, concerns, conundrums?
I feel like my feet are too high, but I feel like when I try to make them like more L
Well, let's try it. Let's come into downward dog again. Start in table with your feet at the wall. This is actually great for core and lower back. It's a great point. And walk your hands a print forward and come into downward dog. Shrug your shoulders, come into downward dog. Okay, lift a foot just about knee height up the wall. If you're right at the conduit, be like try not to be on the conduit, be like just above or below the conduit. And now bring your other foot to that height. Ugh. Yep. Like walk your feet lower, 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 lower. And then come onto your tippy toes and bend your knees deep. And think knees to ribs, ribs away from the knees, and then thigh bones to the sky. How we doing? Some people are leaving it, not taking it. That's cool. Gently come down. How did it feel different? More in the core? More in the core. Who requested the core? You requested the core work? More in the core when the feet are low. Okay. Now, take a moment to recover. Because think about it. Have you ever seen someone like press up into handstand? That's the hardest spot. I can't do it in handstand. I could probably do it in forearm stand, but it's like holding that spot where the feet are like just off the floor. It's like the deepest core work. And then your hip flexors need to kick in, and then your back muscles need to kick in. And those are all core muscles in my opinion. Okay, we're gonna come into tabletop position with your hands a print forward of your shoulders. Soles of the feet at the wall, shrug your shoulders, press back to your tight down dog. And now stretch one leg up the wall as high as you can and bring the other foot to meet it. Come on to tippiest of tippy toes and try to get your hips more over your shoulders. And think heart to wall, bottom ribs to spine. How we doing? And walk down and rest. Core work? More or less core work.
Are you walking your body towards the wall?
What?
Are you walking your body towards the wall?
No. Yeah. This is really common, this one with beginners too, to take the feet like up to basically you're in like plank. So my point is that there's not like one exactly right place for the feet to go. Like consider it an exploration, something gained, something lost. When you're in or close to the 90 degrees, you have the most weight on your upper body, your shoulders, your arms, your hands. So it's great conditioning for handstand because of that hinge. When you're in the plank version, did anyone feel like it was like less in their arms and upper back? Yeah. So it's always something gained, something lost. Like none of those variations are wrong. It's just like, what are you going for? The plank one though, I don't know if I could do this on this thing. If I open it a little, let's see. So when we go here, the tendency in our planks is this. That's not so good for the low back. You're still trying to get hips up, heart towards the wall, bottom ribs towards the spine. And then maybe from there, how low, this is not like this. I'm just trying to, can you go without coming all the way back down? And then from there, maybe find the sweet spot. Should we do a little dance up there? L pose. She'll come onto all fours and have the soles of the feet at the wall, the hands a little forward of the shoulders, a little tenderness for those wrists. Pressing the inner edges of the hands will help a lot. Take it back to downward dog, big shrug of the shoulders. Now let's take one leg as high up the wall as you can
and the other foot will meet you. And think tippy toes, hips towards over the shoulders. Yes, yeah, even more. And then heart towards the wall and bottom ribs towards the spine. And now push through the floor to lift through the hips. Now walk your feet down halfway, just halfway, and think heart towards the wall, hips towards the sky. Good, bottom ribs towards the spine. Push through the arms to lift through the hips. And now walk them halfway down from there. Halfway down. Tippiest of tippy toes. And then maybe right toes kiss the right wrist. Left toe. Like, what? Questions? You guys are strong as shit. Seriously. I really want to do forearms. I feel like we've been working on that all month, and now that Mercury is direct, like we're going to do 2 forearms on the floor. And having done that, let's play with it. So pretend this is a wall. This is the wall, and we're going to hug the block between the palms. Shoulders over the elbows, elbows shoulder width apart, side body long, conjuring that inner dachshund. Tuck the toes, and you'll walk it in, okay? And then you can extend one leg up and kick to the wall, or the other leg up and kick to the wall. And I'm so happy to come around and help you with this. Come on to tippiest of tippy toes, and maybe play with press up. And I'm so happy to help some of you wherever you are in the room, help you with that as well. So it's not about the form. It's not about where you get. It's all about the actions that we just worked on, okay? And then if you get to the wall, and again, I'm happy to help with that. That will be dumb. Let me not do that. I just want to give one more thing to work on or play with. Sorry for this view. You can kick to the wall. Okay, and then you'll keep one heel at the wall and try to get the other foot to the floor. Keep one heel to the wall, try to get the other foot to the floor and see what happens. Okay, and then the other one. Y'all look really cute upside down. Try to get that foot to the floor. See how the other heel comes off? Boop, boop. So plenty of options, and I'm gonna come around for this, and folks at home, play. Take some time to be upside down in a way that suits you, that honors the breath, where you could still prioritize the breath. Does that look right? Okay, so bring a block to the wall. Everyone can do that part. Hug the block between your palms. Walk your knees back so they're not forward of your hips. And shrug your shoulders and squeeze the block. I'm looking over here and I'm feeling like you might want a block and a half. Have you tried this? I feel like we want like a block and a quarter actually, but try that and see if that feels different for you.
And do this?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that. Lift the knees and hips up and walk it in towards your block as much as you can. Tippy toes, tippiest of tippy toes, and then extend one leg to the sky and push off your bottom foot to kick to the wall. You did really just do that? I want you to have a block and a half too, I think.
Oh.
I'm looking around the room actually. Okay, pause, time out. It's so good to be looking around the room again. I'm feeling like a lot of you could use a block and a half for this. I just want to give you like a little bit more space without losing the integrity. So a block and a half If it felt kind of claustrophobic or the elbows were like splaying wider than the hands, it'll look like this, okay? So welcome to try that. But the key is that we don't want the elbows wider than the hands. We want to squeeze the hands in to engage the biceps and keep those elbows in. Can I have a volunteer who wants help going up? Okay. Oh. And can you look at the camera reader and can we like do one of these things? Can you please see if I get Camden in the shot? On OBS, not Union, because there's a delay. How we doing there? What's in the way?
It's still a delay.
Not on OBS.
Oh, yeah.
Good? Okay. You want to do the block and a half? Sure. Okay. So come into your prep and take your time. Oh, I like that too. Yeah. Did you see she turned it on tower height? Smart. Walk it in, then just extend one leg up. And rather than kicking up, I'm just going to come over here. I just want you all to see this. And Camden, push into my leg. Push your leg into my arm and see how she just floats up. Bring your other heel to the wall. Yep, gorgeous. Gorgeous. And as you take your heels to the wall, squeeze your elbows in, press your forearms down to slide your heels up. Yeah, flex. Yes! See how she's pushing down and her heels just went up a brick. Flex your feet. Flex. Yes. And now keep one heel on the wall and bring one foot towards the floor. Super slow motion. Yep. Yeah, and then she'll go up again. But I just want you to thank you so much for volunteering. I really appreciate that. Could you feel how like it slows the dismount when you keep one heel to the wall? For those of you who want help, I just want you to see what help looks like. And Camden has fluency in practice, but like had I not known that she was, I could feel and see if she needed more help, I would have just, as the leg came up, held her hips for more support and guiding hips over shoulders. So I'm a trained professional. There's no obligations. You don't have to want the help or want the experience, but if you do want the help to have the experience, my job is to help, and I'm happy to. So I get to do this. So again, because some of you keep one heel on the wall, came down, now you're going to keep the other heel on the wall and then try to come down. And while you're all doing that, I'll come around to help whoever wants the help. And otherwise, just like if you just want to be where you are and explore where you are, you're walking it in, one leg to the sky, 3 breaths, 4 breaths, 5 breaths to orient yourself with your forearms and 1 foot on the floor. Rest, re-regulate, and then come back into your dolphin, walk it in, walk it in. It's a congested, tight, kind of scary position. On top of that, you'll extend one leg to the sky and like 3, 4, or 5 breaths there to be in the discomfort, like we know that's a good thing, and then to come down and re-regulate. Okay, so think of it as like while you're in there, you're broadening and strengthening your window of tolerance. Buzzword. So together on your own, let's just all set up with a block. How am I doing there-ish? You can use the remote to fix that?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Thank you. Has anyone noticed that they're liking it better with a block and a half? It's not for everyone, especially if you're petite, you probably don't need that. But sometimes you're petite and you don't even know that you're like broader across the shoulders. Great hair day. Yeah. So, yeah, it's great. Call me over if you want help. Extend one leg to the sky. And like 3 to 5 of the deepest, fullest breaths, and that will require effort, and they don't need to be 3 or 5 breaths in a row. Like take the time to get 3 good breaths. Okay, let's, oh, you're so tall. Block and a half for you, but let's go like this, and then bring this palm to the block. Oh no, let's doing it. Okay. Okay, and hug the elbows in a little closer.
And then walk it in, and extend one leg up. Okay? Oh, and then pause. And now just press into me. Other way, push into me. Yes, push into me. Like you're pushing me towards the floor. Feel the difference? Keep going. And now this heel's gonna come to the wall. Gorgeous. You okay? Squeeze the elbows in. Squeeze the elbows in and press the forearms down. Tell me if you want help. And then bring this foot towards the floor and try to keep this heel at the wall. Flex. Flex this foot. Yeah, push it into the wall. Awesome. And then when you're ready to come down, bring that foot all the way to the floor. Gorgeous. Questions?
No, it's good. I feel like I have to keep hugging in more.
Yeah. Anyone else want help or have questions? In which direction? When you're up there? Yeah. So there's a difference between banana back and like a good low back curve, which is a deep back bend. So I feel like that's a good point, just to be demonstrative. Can I use someone's spot? Anyone? I'll just use, well, I want you to have a good view. Can I use your spot? And it'll help to see from the sides, but come around. So this heels to the wall and hips towards the middle of the room, that's banana back. But if you can get your bend your legs, feet to the wall, get your hips towards the wall, you can see that that's a big low back curve, but that's not a banana back. So we want hips to the wall, heart to the wall, bottom ribs to the spine, okay? Not hips towards the center of the room. That's no bueno.
And like your gaze should be away from the wall or towards the wall? Because I noticed that.
The gaze. Gaze towards the block, unless you do feel like you're getting too much banana back. And then, this is like such a good sticky mat. It's like thick, sticky. Okay. So, hips to the wall, gaze to the wall. Okay, that's generally. And then hips to the wall, but if I'm banana backing there, can you see how now I have hips to the wall and I'm banana backing? Then I look towards my heart, my belly, and it fills in the upper back. So you can use, it's almost like, in many poses, I would think of like gaze as a rudder. And you can use your gaze and thereby like the weight of your head as like a balance or a counterbalance. So if you like look up, you'll feel the bottom tips of the shoulder blades come towards the spine. That's a good thing. And the bottom tips of the shoulder blades flare open, not as good. If you look towards your heart, you'll feel the bottom ribs go in towards the spine and the bottom tips of the shoulder blades wing apart. So how do you get the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together and the bottom tips of the ribs back? And then it kind of brings your head right in line with your heart. Does that make sense? So play with it. Like if you have the stamina and the capacity to like occupy yourself in that space, and you have to practice and build towards that. Not everyone is like, you might just be like, am I fucking breathing? Which is a beautiful and important place to be, because that will translate and have great impact in your practice on the mat and in your life. And then as you practice that, you get to the place where like you can breathe in there, and then you can start to play with gaze and refinements. Love this on you. Let's try it one more time, and then we'll like counterpose and relax. Again, please call me over if you want help having some kind of experience. Yeah, okay. So hold the block between the arms because you'll get more muscle engagement.
Okay.
And then when you're ready to come up, and then just extend one leg up so I know which side to come on. Perfect, I'm on the good side. And now rather than kicking here, just push down into me. Yes, awesome. And take this heel to the wall. You got it, it's right there. And now flex your feet and press your heels up the wall. Squeeze the block, push your forearms down, and that's how the heels will. And then when you're ready to come down, yeah, try to keep this heel at the wall as you bring the other leg down. Gorgeous. Was that okay?
Yeah, that was
awesome. Come in, Elise. Ugh.
I'm not sure if I left an extra half or not.
If what?
I have an extra half block or not.
I don't think you do.
Okay,
Let's see
just
what this
feels,
looks
like.
like.
Hard to get.
Yeah, that's better for you.
Yeah, okay.
But thanks for trying. I love that like y'all are like trying things and being open-minded. Extend one leg up and then push into me. Push down into me. Yes, push. Yes! And bring this heel to the wall. You got it. Gorgeous. And then butt to the wall. Try bending your legs and now try to stick your butt towards the wall. Yes, butt towards the wall. Yes, more. Other way. You want to come down?
Yeah.
You got it.
I just like the proprioception of it was really confusing.
Yeah, it's so confusing, but you floated right up.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that part was easy. Okay. Questions, you're welcome. Questions? How are we feeling? Okay. Let's come into downward facing dog. Any direction is fine. Just take a moment to regroup, regather yourself, find your breath. You can pedal the feet or be still. If you strongly prefer a puppy or a child's pose, that's always available. Find your breath, breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. We reestablish that channel of awareness. Breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. Push through the arms to lift through the hips and ground through the heels. Trying to remember, was it you who requested the lower back stuff? Is it okay to touch? Okay, come into your dog. Is that okay? And then rest in child's pose. Hips heavy, arms extended. Breathe into the sides and back of the waist. So it's like a really three-dimensional expansion. And then sit back on your heels. We're gonna locate, does everyone have massage balls? I need to weed these. And we're gonna come with our head towards the center of the room. We'll be massaging this area from between the shoulder blades at the top to between the shoulder blades near the bottom. I'll talk you through it. And if you're at home and you don't have massage balls, tennis balls or racket balls, I like tennis balls better, or these yoga tune-up balls are the best and they're not that expensive. I encourage you to get them. But if you don't have them, you can roll up a blanket or a towel and just rest the bottom tips of your shoulder blades over a rolled up blanket or towel. Or again, you could do the heart bench that we began with and notice any changes. That one looked like this, and by this point, you might actually find much more comfortability around having the blocks on equal height. So those are all options. I know it's a lot, but I like you to have what's in your taste. The rest of us can lie down, knees bent, feet on the floor, and have the balls right in between the tops of the shoulders. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say shoulders. I should say shoulder blades. Those are your scapula. So we want the balls right in between the tops of the scapula, underneath your upper back. And then if you want more, you can lift the hips and place a block under your hips. Totally optional.
And then reach your arms towards the ceiling and let the arms just move like seagrass. Just find a flow. It's the year of the dragon. The dragons represent rivers, and the rivers represent flow. And this is the year that we set the intention to find and feel and be in our flow. To find your pace, which is different, often quite different from the pace that the outer world and society sets. Attune to your pace. Notice what you feel. Feel what you notice. Is there any place you need or want to linger? Release your arms to the sides. Stand through your feet to lift your hips. Push through your legs to roll your body north so that the balls roll down the back. Come on up for a second. Like just lift your head up. Oh, sorry. Way. Move the block out. Okay. Oop. And now bring your head towards me a little bit and lift your head up, head and shoulders up. Oh. Okay, like that, and now lower down. You okay there? Okay. Can you breathe there?
Yeah.
Okay. And now if you want more. Sorry, and then if you're using the block, slide the block north. I think y'all did that. And then lower your hips to the floor of the block. Now, if you want more pressure there, the block is here for underneath your hips, if you want it. So you can put a block under your hips or not, and it could be different each place you explore. Reach your arms to the sky, and again, I'll often give more direction here, but just for today, as Mercury turns direct, and we have a moment this week where like none of the planets are in each other's way. Just think of that as a metaphor for life. Like imagine one day, one moment where there's nothing in the way. It's like once in a blue moon, there's just nothing in the way. Like just be like seagrass. Nothing in the way. Can wrap your arms around yourself, cross one arm on top of the other and wrap your arms around yourself like you're trying to touch the balls underneath you with your fingertips, like a great big hug, and wriggle from side to side. Breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt, this profound way in which we can actually direct our breath, our awareness into the back body, the side of the self that is so often, so easily overlooked. Then reach the arms to the sky and cross the other arm on top. Feels where you feel. Release the arms to the ground and stand through the feet to lift the hips up and push through your legs to roll your body north now until the balls reach the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, the deep back bottom of the heart center. It's almost like it's deep. Okay, and then if you're using the block, slide the block north to catch you. If it's too intense, try using the block. It might alleviate it. And if you want it more intense, you can try removing the block. It might intensify it. And this is different for everyone. It like just has to do with a variety of things. It actually makes all of our dolphin poses look and feel different. It's the curvature of our spines. So with or without the block, the balls are between the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. And once again, you can reach the arms to the sky. Cross your arms around yourself. A bear. Could imagine the arms of Durga herself. 10 arms, 5 sets of arms wrapping around you. Or you could flip it around if you want. just for the remainder of class too. If it's bothering you, I wonder if it'll reach Doria by the end of class. And then switch the cross of the arms when you feel ready. And the technique really is called the self-makeout session. And just like love on yourself here. You're driving, you're in control. The back of the lungs expand with each breath. Okay, release the arms down to the sides. And we'll scooch the butt. If you're on a block, put the block to the side and scooch the butt towards the heels. So you're moving your body south and the balls are rolling north now. It's the return trip. Scooch it, scooch it, scooch it. And when the balls come up to the neck, you can remove them and just allow your awareness to expand into that space we just massaged, and allow that space we just massaged to soften into the earth, and let the head be heavy. And let the belly be soft, and let the legs be heavy for just a couple of breaths. And again, bring your palms to the low belly, thumbs at or below the navel, fingers towards the pubic bone. And notice the quality of the breath, if it's deeper and fuller. Take the arms either down to the sides or out to the sides in cactus, sort of negotiating with your neighbors, and bend the legs, feet on the floor, bring your legs together. We're gonna cross the right leg over the left leg, a deep cross, thigh over thigh, and scooch your hips to the right and lower your knees to the left. A few breaths here. Supine twist as the breath massages the visceral organs. Deep belly breath in. Try to pull the legs energetically apart. And then slow belly breath out. Let the legs get heavy as you twist from the left waistline to the right. And the right shoulder can root, can ground through the right shoulder. It's another one that's great for the low back and chest opener. On an inhale, draw the legs through center, uncross, shift the hips to neutral, knees bent, feet on the floor together, cross the left thigh over the right thigh, scoot your hips to the left and lower your legs to the right. Supine twist, belly breathing so the breath can massage the visceral organs. As you inhale, you can gently, energetically try to pull the legs apart. And as you exhale, feel the belly contract as you twist from right waistline through the left shoulder, and the left shoulder grounds towards the earth. You're welcome. Inhale to center. Uncross, shift the hips to neutral. Stretch your legs out long and reach your arms overhead. Huge breath in. Slow breath out. Stretch yourself from inside out on the inhale and soften from outside in on the exhale. Hug your knees in towards your chest, wrap your arms around your legs, and give yourself the sweetest, most loving embrace. And then feel free to take this into wind relieving pose or happy baby. You can take the knees apart and hug your knees towards your armpits. That's wind relieving pose. Or you can take the knees apart and thread your arms between the legs and hold the outer shins, ankles, or edges of the feet for happy baby. And take a moment to scan your body with your awareness to see, are there any final poses, movements, or adjustments that you need or want to make in order to feel completely prepared to fully relax. And then for today's Shavasana, since we're at the wall, there's a really grounding form of the pose that I personally love. You can, of course, as always, take it or leave it. But you can scooch yourself to the wall so that you're you're on your back and you're going to press your feet into the wall. So you want to scooch yourself towards the wall and plug your feet into the wall like you're plugging your feet into electrical sockets, and you can scooch your tushy a little closer so your feet are, heels are on the ground, okay? Heels are on the ground where the wall and floor come together. You can tell it's been a long time since I've taught this. And then you can scooch your tushy a little closer so your knees bend, okay? And manually widen your buttock flesh. And now push your legs straight, okay? And then relax. So this has a grounding quality and effect for your legs. But it's really important that you bring your heels to the floor, soles of the feet to the wall, like exactly the opposite of how we were preparing for our L poses and tabletop. And then you bend your legs to shorten the distance from your hips to the wall, and then you push your legs straight. And then relax. You can release the arms down to the sides, palms up, or again, let the hands rest on the low belly so that you can feel and hold the breath in the palms of your hands. Look for the breath. Slow down the inhale. Slow down the exhale. Let the flow of the breath hold your vision. And if you want a little more focus here, again, tune me out or tune me in as feels appropriate. As the breath flows in, let it fill you from pubic bone to navel and pause. Fill from navel to bottom of the breastbone and pause. And fill from breastbone to collarbones to throat and pause. And exhale all the breath out. I'll talk us through that a couple more times. It's called Viloma Pranayama. Inhale slowly, filling from the pelvic floor up to the navel, and pause the inhalation. Continue the inhale from behind the navel up to the base of the breastbone, the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, and pause the inhale. And finish the inhale from the base of the breastbone all the way up through the collarbones, throat, back of the shoulders. And exhale all the breath out. Let the breath flow smoothly in and out through the nose. And you can inhale a third of the way and pause. 2/3 of the way and pause. All the way up and pause. And let the breath pour out of you. Slowly, far and wide. Do 2 more cycles. And just bear witness to the breath as it breathes you. You can find the perspective of the observer. As though you are watching a beautiful sunset or sunrise, or the wind and the trees, or some other beautiful aspect of nature that you adore. And now see yourself through this lens, this beautiful aspect of nature, this gift of being, of consciousness, being breathed. The breath breathes you. We step into participation with the breath and we engage life more deeply and more fully. You can slow down the inhale, trace it into your ground of being. Let it fill you up to your crown and turn it into your heart. And let it pour out of you, heartfelt in all directions with the exhale, sending your heart out as far and as wide as you can imagine. Again, trace the breath in to the depth, to the ground of your being. Let it fill you all the way up to your crown, and then turn it into your heart, wherein every virtue imaginable resides. And let this energy pour from inside out as an offering on the currents of the exhale, far and wide. As the breath ignites the heart, the splendor of your heart, this indwelling light, it illuminates and inspires your mind and your body. And here in this gift of embodiment, let the spirit that you are gently awaken the body that you have. Whatever ways feel good, wiggling toes and fingers, stretching your arms and your legs, you noticing the wall at your toes. Let the body that you have embrace, affirm, and adorn the spirit that you are. Take this moment to literally wrap yourself around yourself. For this is and you are the gift of life, a beautiful expression of nature. When you're ready, bend the legs and feel your feet on the ground. And with both feet on the ground, take a moment to call yourself down to earth and take a full breath in and out. And call yourself back to reality, followed by a full breath in and a full breath out. And a moment to visualize the ways in which you stretch your practice of yoga into the activities of your daily life. How do you want to be? And set this intention now in the open, clear, and coherent space of the heart. How do you want to be in the activities of your daily life? And rolling to one side, we can press through the arms. Find your way into a comfortable seated posture with the eyes closed. We'll bring the hands together before the heart in Anjali Mudra. A final gesture of sincere self-reverence that acknowledges and honors the voice of the true teacher, never further than your heart, which is never further than your breath, and a gesture that places the indwelling light of the heart, the voice of the true teacher, before us as a guide and an offering in all we do, and so doing, bringing more beauty, more virtuosity to those in the world around us. As you bow to your heart, with all my heart, I bow to every one of you. Thank you so much for your practice today, for your presence, and for all that you are and all that you do every day of this life. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, y'all. Have a great rest of your weekend. Hope you can join us for some components of the cleanse if and as you like. Hope you can sign up for class on Mother's Day. All that money will be going to children and mother figures in Gaza, bringing them food and medical supplies. Particularly because we have a community member who is from the area and is involved with the on-the-ground efforts there. It's a terrible situation, what's going on in the Mideast. I don't think there's anything good happening, and we can try to just do the little that we can together as a community. If you have any questions or suggestions, reach out. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Thanks, everyone at home. See you soon, Kiara.
And speaking of the handstand or form stand, should you